I noticed you were finally at full strength today. What was it like to have the whole band here together?
I have to go through my notes. Like, I don't think we've had like a practice, just like everybody here. We haven't had, everybody available to go through a prep, but everybody's just excited to get this thing started. We still have a couple days, to wait. I think if everybody had it their way, we would start tonight. But it's good to have that prep.
The Celtics have that young core that have been to this stage now, 2 or 3 times in the last 3 or 4 years. And a lot gets said, like Jimmy's never made it this deep. You've got 7 or 8 guys who have been in this round. How valuable is that experience for your young guys who haven't been through any of this before?
Yeah, it is important, and that's why we put together this group, because we do rely on our young guys. You need some veteran stability and experience and poise to get you through those inevitable, tough stretches during a playoff run. And our veteran guys have that experience, but also have a great way of communication and connection and accountability, but also bringing confidence to our young guys. It is unique.
To the point that Drew's talking about with Tim, Coach, how different is all of this with these 2 teams compared to previous matchups because of the differing personnel and differing dynamics with who was in and who was out in all 3 matchups?
Yeah, it's almost you almost can't draw anything from those games because there are so many different moving parts that are different than they are now. Of course, both coaching staffs will continue to dive into all that, but that's something that really struck out to me when you start diving into the film. Somebody's always been missing, or multiple people in each of those games. At the end of the day, we're a totally different team. Certainly than the first time we played them in December, and they're a much different team, and that's what you expect out of high quality, high level teams.
I know you don't obsess about back-to-backs, but it was strange to play them on the second night of back-to-backs for all 3 games. It's got to be nice just not to have that element at all in this series.
Yeah, and everybody's on an equal playing field here. You're getting an appropriate amount of rest. You're getting right to the competitions usually every other day. That's the best way. I think all of us enjoy that type of format. I tell our young guys all the time, it has nothing to do with this, but I'm talking about the back-to-backs during the season. Just embrace it and enjoy it now. There will be a day where there probably aren't any back-to-backs. I do remember those days early on, years ago in the 90s, when you would have 25 20 plus back-to-backs. It's almost impossible to comprehend that now.
Jimmy said that it sort of doesn't matter who his opponent is when he's going through drills. He just sees black shadowy figures. He doesn't picture anyone specifically. Does it help or change anything for you to have those figures be faces and know who you're playing, as opposed to being prepared for any situation that might come your way?
Yeah. Again, if you're just starting the preparation process right now, and you're trying to cram for the test, or you don't have months of habits, you're probably going to be in a tough spot right now. Our system is our system, our identity. We've already created that through months of competition. You do have to, tweak some things and be specific based on who you're playing in the playoffs, and there are adjustments that need to be made, but I don't know what percentage, 70, 80% of what you do and who you are is already established at this point. And JB gets that as much as anyone.
Well, you've referenced in the past that, you're not going to catch anybody off guard with things in the playoffs, but does it change the chess match at all when your opponent is coming off a series when they just saw pretty much every defensive coverage kind of known to man?
Again, we're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. And the further you get along, the deeper a series goes, there's fewer surprises and things that shock you. It really then becomes about what it's supposed to be about, and that's competition.
Good afternoon, Coach Spo. Sir, do you find any similarities when game planning to stop Jason Tatum to your approach 8 years ago when planning for former Celtic Paul Pierce in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Man, I feel old because I barely even remember that. I say that kiddingly, but that just feels like such a different chapter. Different players, different teams, different systems. So it would be hard to really try to draw comparisons to that.
Eric, I know obviously you scout intensely and know all these teams, but there are some coaches in different sports. Bill Belichick is known for this, and almost bringing in a player to debrief them on another team's system and maybe even release them before they play that team. You have Kelly, you have Jay. They played high-level playoffs with Brad Stevens. Is there much of that? Is there much of getting the two of them in the room and having them spill the beans? Thank you.
Their team is different, though. Am I going to bring them in and ask them, what kind of plays they ran for Isaiah Thomas? I don't know if that is totally relevant. What kind of misdirection handoffs they were doing for Avery Bradley. I guess we could be maniacal on that. Ask about those kind of details.
Hey, Coach. As good as you guys are playing in these playoffs, do you think you need to reach another level to go past Boston?
Yes.
And how can you do that?
I know we'll figure it out, but that's what the playoffs are designed for. You're going to have to continue to improve and get to a higher level as the competition rises.
Thank you.
All right, Spo, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.